Hello everyone and welcome to another week on iRacing. It is week 7 of season 2 and this week we're racing in the Falcon GT4 challenge at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the road course. This is my first season racing in GT4 and if you have not seen my previous videos, make sure you check them out. I have been driving the McLaren 570S GT4 and I've really been enjoying it. The car is super nice to drive, I've become quite competitive in it and it has taken me to the highest level of iRating I've managed to achieve, which is 2.2 thousand. This week, however, we're switching teams. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Mercedes AMG GT4. After half a season in the McLaren, I wanted to try something new, so today I'm going to provide you with my first impressions of the AMG GT4, and I will do that on track as we race it here at Indianapolis. Enough talking guys, let's get on track. We've qualified in P12, it's a 2.2k strength of field race. I did not have a great qualifying run, so I definitely wanna try and get into the top 10. This is a sprint race, 15 minutes, and today we're driving the Mercedes AMG GT4. Now, I've done a couple of races already with the car, I've also done quite a bit of practice, and I instantly noticed some differences with the McLaren, and those differences, they're quite exciting. Stick around to find out my first impressions about the car. Bear in mind this car has also recently been updated in the latest iRacing patch, so they've improved the braking and other aspects of it as well. I'm definitely excited. Guys, if you enjoy this video and if you like this format, consider liking, consider subscribing, it helps so much. Let me know your thoughts about the car and about the race in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you when the lights turn green. And yeah, let's see what we can do. Lights are about to go green, the leader has already planked it, and we're off.
15 minutes remaining, 15 minutes to go.
For turn 1, we're definitely gonna be grabbing the inside line here, guys, and we're gonna brake slightly early. We're gonna take it nice and easy. We do not want to make any mistakes.
Left side. Still there. Clear left.
The McLaren of Esposti definitely went a bit too long there. Let's just keep an eye on him. We should be able to keep him behind for now. Oh, there's issues ahead. A McLaren flying off to the right. Once again, we're gonna brake just slightly early.
On your left.
Oh, and there's trouble, guys. I can't see.
Yellow flag.
Oh, I could not see if cars were leaving the track or not, so we've had to take this wide route. And now we're trying to rejoin as safely as possible.
Clear left.
Alright, guys, and this leaves us, I think, all the way at the back. I think we're in P20, guys. That is such a shame, because we had a pretty good start, and now we're all the way at the back. You see, I was just not able to see whether the cars that ran into issues, whether or not they were leaving the track and cutting my way, so I purposely went wide onto the grass, but it turned out worse than I was expected. And the Mercedes here, oh my god, that was very, very close. And now Kanachi behind is catching up to us. I'm losing the pack ahead because I really have to slow down there. We're gonna hold the inside line here, guys.
Hold your line.
We've got another spinner. Another 2 cars that lost it. Thanks to that, Kanachi was put off. I can go back on the racing line now. But we're gonna be under pressure from him. Let's see what these guys ahead can do. Looks like Abel in the McLaren ahead at a kind of a slow run. We definitely got quite a lot of pace on him here. I could try and make a move, but I think it's too late. Oh! And I really had to slam on the brakes there, guys.
Clear left. Car in front of us is Apple.
I pushed a bit too much. Kanashi behind with the pressure. Did not have the best exit, but better than Abel ahead. Let's see. Yeah, we could maybe try again here. I'm afraid that if I don't manage to clear him as soon as possible, that he's gonna push me into Kanachi.
Gonzalez is now leading. The leader has just done a 1:31.00.
And it's gonna be interesting to see in which position we're currently sitting here.
Place.
Alright, so we've recovered our bit since our issue in lap 1, but it's not good enough, guys. This is not good enough if I want to gain I rating from this race. I'm gonna have to keep pushing. But let's check out that incident in the first lap, guys. So we're now following the grey Porsche of Paul Seifert, and at the heavy braking zone he taps Burak in the BMW in the back, which causes him to spin. Now let's look at it from my perspective. As you can see, I've got cars on my inside, and in my mind, as I see Burak spinning around and heading towards the end of the track, I think that if I hold on to my line, that when I come around the corner, that I will T-bone Burak and ruin my race. On top of that, as I am on a single monitor, I cannot see if his car is moving or stationary. For this reason, I decided to go on the grass to avoid any potential contact. Unfortunately, however, in doing so, I ended up on a massive grass field, and by the time that I got back out on the other side of it and rejoined the track, I was second to last. But eventually, as you've already seen, we managed to pick up some freebies, and now we'll rejoin the live action in lap 4 in P14. We don't really have to worry about the gap behind anyway, because Dagernas is a whole 8 seconds behind. So we can just focus on moving forward here. It looks like the Mercedes off top has gone wide here.
You're right.
So that'll be a position, so that's great. Bit of understeer there. Did not have a good exit. I'm gonna be under attack, but I think we'll be fine. Hopefully Kanakshi can take us all the way up to Abel and Villa now. But alright guys, as we continue chasing Kanakshi in the BMW right ahead, it's time to talk about the car. The first thing that I noticed is that it's much less understeery than the McLaren. This is a front engine car. That means that the engine is at the front of the car on top of the front wheels, so when I brake, the fronts go planted all the way down to the ground, and I can really feel that extra grip when I'm turning. So steering this car into corners feels much easier than in the McLaren. However, I did notice that this also leads to more oversteer. So for instance, when coming out of a corner, this car has me having to nurture the throttle much more than I would in the McLaren. In fact, in the McLaren, I'm used to mostly just planting the throttle coming out of corners. And in addition to that, another thing that makes this effect feel stronger in the AMG is that I feel that the traction control in the McLaren is much more accentuated. I have to say that I'm not a huge fan of understeery cars, so I loved this aspect of the AMG. The second thing that I loved the most about the AMG is that the brakes are great, and I know that those have been, and the ABS has been updated in the most recent iRacing patch, but you can stop it much more easily, in my opinion, than you can stop the McLaren. This, combined with the extra grip that you can get on the front tires, as I've just discussed, makes this car such a joy to drive when you are trail braking. It's so easy and great to trail brake with this car. However, you have to be careful with throttle application on exit. This car also feels extremely stable when heavy braking in a straight line. I did not notice much of a difference in terms of top speed compared to the McLaren. However, I did feel as this car, the AMG, does accelerate a bit more slowly than the McLaren. Furthermore, I loved the sound and the force feedback of this car, and actually, professional GT3 driver Daniel Morad mentioned on his channel that this car, the AMG GT4, is the one that he felt is the most realistic compared to the real-life counterpart out of all the cars that he drove on iRacing. So that made it very, very interesting for me. Overall, I believe that no GT4 car is truly better than another. I believe that they're very driver and track dependent. From what I learned today driving the AMG, I would take the McLaren out in tracks where there's hairpins and tight corners, as it is easier to get on the throttle on exit, and I would take the AMG in tracks where there are longer swooping corners where I can get back on throttle quickly without losing the rear. Give this car a go, it's great fun, but without further ado, let's rejoin the live action in lap 7. I'm still in P15 and I'm being hounded by Tap right behind. Now, with 5 minutes to go, I'm really gonna need some carnage or some mistakes or something to happen up front in order to pick up some freebies and try and make some more positions. Obviously, this requires me to be as consistent as possible until the end of the race so that I can take advantage of mistakes of drivers ahead of me.
Yellow flag, watch out.
And just as we've called it, oh, and there's contact. Contact between Risgaard and the BMW, I believe it was Munoz there. So that'll be one position gained. 3 minutes to go. Any chance of getting this top 10 would be crazy. Let's do it, come on. I believe that Risgaard ahead was the other car involved. Maybe he's carrying a bit of damage. Or anything else that might help us make a pass here would be great. Oh, this battle with Tap is killing me. Super intense. And he's trying absolutely everything to throw me off here. And his drive has been almost faultless. I do feel like Risgaard ahead is fair game though. I really want to try and make a move. We've got the pace advantage. We're gonna try stick our nose in.
It's clear right. Cut clear right.
And we've made the move, guys. Yes! With only 1 minute to go, we've gained another position. Oh, and I always mess up that corner. That was not a good exit, guys. Now all the pressure is gonna be behind, so I'm gonna have to be very careful. I better close the door each time now, because I think that moving ahead here is gonna be very difficult, but
There's a car leaving the pits.
Risgaard there fancied a little bit of a dive, so we're gonna have to be careful.
P13.
P13.
That was at 133, 122.
It's the white flag, guys. And now we have Risgaard and Tap battling behind, so that's definitely gonna give us some breathing room now to try and take this car home in P13. Which is actually only one position lower than where we started, so we definitely managed to, let's say, fix the problem that we ran into in the first lap. But obviously still not ideal, as we'll be losing 20 I rating, but hey, I'll take it. It's better than losing 60, isn't it? Back marker here going super wide, but at least we've cleared them. Gives us a little bit of extra space to the cars behind. Whew. And alright everybody, P13, not the best result.
P13, that's the end of the race, by the way.
I hear you, Jim. It was indeed a bit of bad luck in the first lap. Not the result that I was hoping for, but I have to say that it was a really nice race, and this result is quite fulfilling because we dropped all the way down to P20 or P19 and we managed to fight all the way back up to P13. An interesting thing is that I was actually the best AMG on the field, and I see that there's barely any Mercedes in, or I'm not sure there's any in the top 10. So maybe this car is not ideal for this type of track. I might have picked the wrong week to give it a test. Nonetheless, I enjoyed it very, very much. I hope that you found my insights of this car and my first impressions interesting. If you did, and if you enjoyed the race, please consider liking, consider subscribing, leave me a comment, let me know your thoughts. And yeah, without further ado, I hope to see you in the next one, and take care, guys.